What's up, people? In this video, we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to teach you how to interpret dreams. Yes, how to interpret dreams. I know, strange. You would not expect somebody like me to know how to interpret dreams, or to even be able to be qualified not only to know how to do it, but to be able to teach somebody else how to interpret dreams. But this is something, like it or not, that I can do, that I've done for many people on many different occasions, and I can teach you how to do it also if you want. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. It is a three-step process, and I've got my handy dandy notepad here to teach you how to do it. Sorry, I just live streamed for 2 hours. I'm kind of out of it. I need my coffee. Okay, so that said, how do you interpret dreams? There are 3 steps. Step 1, Step 2, and Step 3. Okay, I don't know how long this video will be, but Step 1 is to, and this is how to interpret dreams of other people. Okay, you can use this process on yourself. However, I will warn you that interpreting your own dreams is somewhat unpleasant because it will force you to face your own areas of your life where you're in denial, right? Because what dreams really are is how you actually feel about things. They're creative, artistic representations of your, or the dreamer's, true feelings about something, right? So if you do that for yourself, you might be faced with the realization that you don't actually feel the way you think you feel about certain things. So recommended that you practice on other people first, because fuck them, who cares about them, right? Pop their balloon all day if you want. Anyway, first step is to get the person to tell you the dream. Obviously, you can't interpret a dream if you don't know what the dream was, right? So generally, what I like to do if I'm going to interpret somebody's dream is I'll say, okay, tell me what the dream was, right? And this time, when you do this for them, you might be tempted to kind of ask for clarification on things, but do not. Just let them speak freely, right? Like basically, what you want to ask them, right? Ask them or tell them, okay, tell me what happened in the dream. That's literally what you say, and then you shut up. Okay, I'm gonna write this here, and then you shut up! Exclamation points. And you let them talk. Okay, like, yeah, you're interpreting the dream, but you need to let them talk. So shut your fucking mouth. Okay. All right. Then you let them talk, and you let them and pay attention when they talk, and get them to just kind of explain what happened in the dream. And you'll see them get this like weird look in their eye and be like, yeah, and then like this thing happened, and that thing happened, and then this happened, and that happened. And they'll usually explain it, they'll fill in the gaps for you, right? They'll be like, yeah, actually this like old friend from high school I haven't seen for a while, like they said this in the dream, and then I turned my head and all of a sudden I was at the beach, and like blah, 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 whatever. Okay? And basically the point of this step is to just get them to get everything out, and for you to remember what it was, right? Like pay attention and remember. So pay attention and remember the dream. Remember what they tell you. Okay, the second part is basically what you're going to do is confirm the details of the dream and ask them the significance, of each detail. Okay, so let's space this out a bit. So basically, this means this. Okay, so let's say that they say, like, yeah, last night I had a dream. I really don't want to do this on myself, but let's do it anyway. One nice part of it. Last night I had a dream that I was on another planet, and I was rushing to get somewhere, and I was like going through these levels of it was kind of like a shopping mall or a school, someplace that had a lot of stairs. You know, the stairway where you go up like this, and then there's like a little, like big stair kind of. You go up and then across and then up and then across, like one of those like that. And I go up like 5 or 6 floors, and I had to get to a certain point where I was going to play baseball with somebody. I had like a partner on this other planet, like a mission partner kind of. We were on a mission, and part of the mission was like playing baseball with the son of the leader of this planet or community or whatever it was. And we played our little game of baseball, and I won because the kid was like 7 years old or something, and obviously I beat a kid who's 7 years old, grown man. And he got really upset because it was a bad sport, and he was like losing. He was very upset. He was like, I wanted to win. Like, this isn't fair. Like, and I like got down, on a knee, as you will do, to talk to a child, and I said, listen, this is how the game is played. You didn't lose because you're bad. You lost because I'm much older than you. I have much more experience than you, and I've been around. I know how to play baseball better than you. I know how to play better than you. And he's like throwing a fit, and I was like, look, what do you want me to do? And he's like, I want you to say that I'm the best. And I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to do that. So, because you're not. You're actually not the best. So that was the dream, and then I woke up. Okay. And I remember thinking in the dream, I was like, wow, what will people think of me? Am I handling this situation correctly based on the opinions of the people watching? Because remember, this is the son of like the leader of the planet. And it's like, I need to handle it carefully, otherwise I will be in trouble with everybody, and I don't want that. So when somebody tells you a dream like that, you're like, well, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, what? Like, you're on another planet playing baseball with the son of a king of the planet? Like, how are you supposed to interpret that? What does that mean? So what you do step one, which is what I did for you just now. And then step two is you want to confirm the details of the dream and ask them the significance of each detail. So this will take a little bit of time. For example, the first part of the dream where I remember I was in a building, it was like either a school or a mall, and I was going up these several flights of stairs, right? So then like you would confirm that, and I would say yes, the person would say yes, and then you would say like, what do schools, or what does going upstairs, several flights of stairs, what does that mean to you? What is that like, how do you feel about that? Like, and I would say, analyzing myself here, I would say, well, I would say that it's probably inconvenient if there's no elevator or other way of going up levels, right? But I would see it as a necessary evil, right? So then what you do is you extrapolate from that. You would say, okay, so there's something in your life currently where you feel like you need to go up several levels, quote unquote, so to speak, go up several levels. There's no fast, easy way to get there, like an elevator, for example. So you have to do it the manual way, right? You have to do it like, the way that requires lots of time and physical exertion. Okay, that's one example, right? And then, fine, let's just, I don't want to do the entire dream because it's fucking long. I don't want this video to be like an hour, but the next part of the dream, I think, was like I was on a mission with somebody else, and part of the mission was playing baseball with the son of the king of the planet or whatever, right? And the whole like on another planet thing, like you could say, what does another planet mean to you? And I would say, well, if I'm on another planet, I'm in unfamiliar territory. I'm in a place where I don't know the customs. I'm in a place where, whatever. Basically, yeah, I'm unfamiliar, I don't know the customs. And then the next detail would be like, okay, going to play baseball. Like, what does baseball mean to you, right? And for me, baseball means something different than it probably means for you. When I was a kid, I had to play baseball. I played Little League for 8 or 9 years, and I didn't want to, like the last few years I didn't want to play. I was kind of like forced to go by my parents because they were friends with the other parents, and like we had like a good team. Like a lot of us had played together for several years, so like we were getting pretty good. Like when you play on the same team with a lot of people for a while, you know them pretty well, and you play well together, and you play better, I think. So for me, baseball is like an activity that I don't particularly like to do. I think I'm good at baseball. I can throw and catch and hit the ball and whatever. I don't like to do it, but I'm good at it, and I will do it. I have done it in situations where I was kind of obliged to do it, right? With the son of a king, so that's clearly like somebody who has more, I don't know, social value than I do. So I've got to do this thing with this person who has more social value than I do. I'm probably better at this activity than they are, but I don't really want to do it. I'm kind of doing it against my will in this awkward kind of situation. Right, so you just kind of like confirm them the details and ask the significance. Right now, because I'm analyzing myself, I have to explain a little bit more on the way because I'm explaining to you how I'm actually doing it. So if we were going to write this down, we would say, using baseball as an example. What does baseball mean to you? And then shut up and let them talk. And then just basically like you can feed it back to them, feed their words back to them. So you're saying that baseball was an activity that you were kind of forced to participate in for several years. You are good at it, but don't really enjoy it. right? You feed it back to them. And then wait for their confirmation, before moving on, and you do that with every step of the dream through the entirety of the dream. Okay, step 3. Step 3 is to extrapolate, let's call it, the hidden meaning of the details of their dream to their current life situation. Let's call it. Okay, so what does this mean? Coffee. All right, so basically what you do, you confirm in the second step. Let's take the baseball example again. So basically I would say to myself, okay, so right now there's something in your life where you feel like you have to participate in it. You maybe are good at it. Just scroll this down a little bit. You're maybe good at it, but you see it as kind of a chore, something you don't really want to do. What in your life would you say that fits that description? And if I were to answer this honestly, I would say, well, probably making all of these YouTube videos that I'm doing, making and publishing them. I enjoy making them. I enjoy doing them. I do see it as a bit of a chore. Would I say that I feel obliged to do them and I'm doing them kind of against my will? Not necessarily. Do I enjoy like every single minute of doing this as I would if I were, doing something else? Let's say probably not. But you could make the argument that is my current challenge right now, right? So you just kind of like let them, or you ask them really what in their life is currently going on that would kind of fit the description of the interpreted detail, right? Not the actual detail. I'm not fucking playing baseball anywhere, but I'm doing an activity that reminds me of how I felt about playing baseball. Does that make sense? So basically ask them about ask them what they may have going on in their lives that resembles the interpreted detail of their dream, or details, I guess, because there will be more than one. Okay. Note, it's not the detail itself, but rather the interpretation. It's not baseball, it's what baseball means to the person, for example, okay? And then, as we do in the other steps, shut up and let them talk. And I promise you, this sounds maybe like bro sciencey or fucking mystical or whatever. I promise you, every time I've done this, the person has come up, by the time you get through this entire process, the person will come up with an entire idea of what the dream actually means to them, right? So, one or two times you might think it's a stretch, like, well, okay, does baseball really like making videos? Like, do we know if that's true or not true? If we were to go through the entire dream, we would say, okay, the son of a leader, that means something else, right? And having this talk with them, that also means something else, right? Like, I don't want to do it. I probably should, but I'm not going to. Like, if you want me to interpret your dream, I'm happy to do it for you. I just kind of don't want to do it on myself. I don't like doing it on myself. I don't want to like realize bad things about myself. But anyway, you shut up and you let them talk, and then you kind of work with them to piece together the meaning of the dream at the end of it. So like, I guess there's a fourth step, really. So the fourth step is to tell the final story. Tell the final story, really. And then, I guess with the info provided, or with the info that you helped extract about the meaning behind the details of the dream, put together a coherent story about what it means. Okay, and straight up, like I've done this dozens of times. This is how you interpret dreams. Okay, like you can agree with me, not agree with me. Like you need me to be wearing like a wizard hat and like, a cape or something, have a crystal ball in front of me instead of a pink Supreme shirt. Okay, fine, that's your requirement. But I'm telling you from a practical standpoint, I've done this many times for many people, and it has always worked out to be something like a logical explanation for it. So you're welcome to try this strategy if you want. One more time, let's just go over it. Number one, get the person to tell you the dream. Literally shut up and let them talk and let them say whatever they want to say about the dream. Because those kind of like, those unconscious things that they say, the words that they say, those are important details, okay? They might seem inconsequential, but they're actually not. They're important details, and when you do the next step, You need to feed back their exact phrases to them in order to get an accurate reading on them, okay? So really, step 1, ask them about the dream, let them talk. Step 2, feed back each detail about the dream, preferably using their words, and confirm that that is actually what they meant. Sometimes it will be the case, sometimes they will offer additional clarification. Number 3, extrapolate the hidden meaning of the details of their dream to their current life situation. Well, and I guess to finish up step number 2, you want to ask them really, what does this detail of the dream mean to you specifically? What does baseball mean to you? What does your old dog from when you're 5 years old mean to you, right? And then I guess this part right here, right? This is really, could be step 2 or it could be step 3. You kind of interpret that with them, right? Like baseball, is it really baseball? No, it's not really baseball. It's just an activity that you were kind of forced to do that you're good at, but you don't really like doing, right? And then step 3 is you kind of like identify some area of their life where this intended deep or interpreted detail, let's call it, has relevance, right? And you do that with them, obviously. Like you don't want to decide for them, is the point. Okay, you want to let them come up with the explanation because they know their lives better than you. And this is not so much like you telling them what is true as you acting as a mirror kind of and asking the right questions for them to figure it out on their own. And then finally, in summary, you want to tell the final story, which is where you start really from beginning to end, and you just say something like, okay, so you were like walking up this like this stair, or so basically I guess you skip all that. You say, okay, so there's something in your life right now that you feel you are progressing towards slowly, not quickly, with a lot of effort, and that something is something that you're good at, but see as a chore, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like you said that you're making these videos, like you're progressing with your channel, you're making these videos, you're progressing slowly, right? You like let them put words in their own mouth, kind of, and then you tell the story based on what they said, if that makes sense, okay? Anyway, hope that was useful for you guys. I got this idea from somebody while doing my live stream today, podcast, whatever. And I got the idea to do this because this is knowledge that I've had in my head for a while. And I kind of silently interpret dreams anytime somebody will kind of casually mention that they've had a strange dream. Occasionally, I will offer to interpret it for them. It is a little bit invasive, although people are generally willing to do it because they think it's kind of fun, right? They don't realize until later that like they've told me now a very intimate detail of their life that they probably weren't planning on revealing to me. But whatever, you know, everybody gets one. Okay, so if you guys have any questions about how to interpret dreams, or you have a dream that you want me to interpret, I don't know, maybe I'll do it, right? Might make an interesting video. Yeah, let me know, leave me a comment. Peace.